Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have terrible luck for the next week. Oceans host a thriving ecosystem that has forever mesmerized us, and much of it remains unexplored. But still, we have a wealth of information about some of the animals that thrive in the depths of the world's oceans. We know about the super friendly dolphins that wouldn't mind goofing around with us. We also know of other marine life that is just too lethal to mess with. From excruciating pain to delivering potent venom, these creatures have built an air of death around them. In today's video, we bring you 10 of these oceanic bad guys. Number 10. Lionfish. Lionfish are endemic to the Indo-Pacific, where they feast on smaller fish and other smaller marine life. And they're quite a colorful lot, spawning white, red, black, or creamy bands. According to scientists, these are all warnings against any would-be predator that attacking a lionfish is not the best of ideas, and rightfully so. The fish species is known for its venomous spiky fin ray that is the go-to apparatus for defense. The venom released isn't always fatal to humans, but has been found to cause a wide array of effects. They include extreme pain that can last up to several weeks, sweating, breathing difficulties, vomiting, and convulsions. For a larger part, that's about it. But occasionally, the venom can have more devastating effects such as heart failure, paralysis, and even death. Such extreme effects are common in children, the elderly, those who are allergic to the venom, and those with a compromised immune system. Despite all that though, lionfish are a worthwhile delicacy with the correct preparation. Number 9. Sea snakes. Sea snakes, as the name suggests, are well adapted to life in the oceans. In fact, a vast majority are completely aquatic, except the sea kraits that venture on land occasionally. But unlike fish, they don't have gills. Therefore, they have to surface every once in a while for that much-needed shot of air. As of now, at least 69 species of sea snakes are known, and they live in the western Pacific Ocean and the warm tropic waters of the Indian Ocean. They're known to be a venomous lot, just like a good deal of their terrestrial counterparts, so maybe encountering them in their natural habitat is potentially dangerous. But the good news is that sea snakes aren't always looking to bite. However, that doesn't mean they're exactly harmless reptiles. Remember, there are over 60 different species, which means there is bound to be a lot of variation in their temperament. There are a few that are more likely to strike at the slightest provocation. The most worrisome thing about sea snake bites is that the venom-injecting bites are usually painless, but symptoms set in later and will include sweating, thirst, vomiting, and paralysis. Fatality will occur especially if the respiratory muscles are paralyzed. Number 8. Blue-ringed octopus. Blue-ringed octopi hang out in coral reefs and tide pools in the Indian and Pacific Oceans between Japan and Australia. Their name is derived from the blue and black rings that dot their yellowish skin. They're pretty small in size and hardly aggressive creatures, but messing with them is the last thing you want to do. And messing with them in this case means touching them. When threatened, they prefer to take off, but they'll revert to a different strategy when the threat persists. They'll put on a display with their skin turning a bright yellow and each of the rings flashing a bright iridescent blue. Now that's not an invitation to play, it's a warning to back off. If you disregard and move in to touch the octopus, it will, of course, bite you. It's a small and painless bite, but one that sets off a chain of fatal events. Through it, the blue-ringed octopus injects one of the most lethal venoms that is enough, get this, to kill up to 26 human adults within a matter of minutes. And worst of all is that there is no antidote for this venom. The venom causes total body paralysis, where even though you're fully aware of your surroundings, you can neither move nor do anything. Number 7. Great white shark. Great white sharks are right on top of the food chain in ecosystems where they frequent, and that's pretty much in every ocean on the globe. But narrowing down, these marine apex predators prefer waters with temperatures ranging from 12 and 24 degrees Celsius, so they're found in abundance in the Mediterranean, South Africa, Japan, and the United States. While most animals in this video create an air of terror around them due to either poison or venom, the great white shark depends on its size to intimidate and subdue prey or perceived threats. Males can grow to a length of up to 4 meters and weigh in at over 700 kilograms. Females, on the other hand, tend to be larger, averaging lengths of 5 meters and weighing as much as a ton. Number 6. Box jellyfish. Box jellyfish are common in the waters of coastal Australia, where they've been responsible for a significant number of deaths. Their venom is among the most potent on the planet, though not all of them are actually lethal. The venom is injected through the tentacles, which can grow to a length of up to 3 meters each. A single box jellyfish tentacle contains over 5,000 stinging cells that are triggered when they come into contact with a chemical on the skin. The bite together with the accompanying venom is meant to immediately immobilize prey, either by killing or stunning it. This ensures that the delicate tentacles are not ruined by the struggling animal. When the same treatment is meted on humans, dire consequences abound. The venom attacks specifically the skin cells, the heart, and the nervous system. Just like a box jellyfish prey, it shocks you, so you might end up drowning or dying in the sea. Number 5. Pufferfish. Unlike most of the creatures in this video, a pufferfish doesn't attack, bite, or sting. They have a range of defenses that they go for in case they're pursued by a predator. Taking off at top speed isn't much of an option since these fish are pretty slow in comparison to most marine predators. The go-to mechanism is to fill their stomach with lots of water, which makes it impossible to swallow. The most dangerous aspect of these fish's defense is the compound tetrodotoxin that a majority of them contain. It is found abundantly in the liver and ovaries, but traces of it have been found in other parts, such as the skin and intestines. Number 4. Cone snail. Of all the deadly creatures that inhabit the world's oceans, snails are probably the least expected to appear. Like, these guys are super slow, are quick to retract to their shells at the slightest sight of danger, and they generally look harmless. That's true for most of them, but for the cone snail, you better think twice before pouncing on their shells. There are over 800 species of cone snails spread out in warm and tropical oceans and seas across the globe, and they have some of the most colorful shells that can be pretty interesting to collectors. This is where the risky part sets in because you never know whether or not there is a live snail in the shell. If there is, you might have a very short time to live, especially if the shell belongs to the largest species of cone snails that prey on small fish. A critical snail sting is followed by excruciating localized pain, vomiting, and numbness. In several cases, the sting causes changes in venom, muscle paralysis, and worst of all, respiratory failure. Number 3. Portuguese man-of-war. The Portuguese man-of-war is a colony of smaller organisms called platypus. These platypus are of the same species and can only survive by sticking together. This unique organism can be found in the open oceans in tropical and subtropical regions. Specifically, Portuguese man-of-wars can be found in the Indian, Atlantic, and Pacific Oceans. Here, they depend on currents and winds to move over the waters. Though most have tentacles extending up to 10 to 30 meters, it's not unusual to get tentacle lengths of up to 50. Their most lethal defense apparatus is the tentacles that can deliver stings as painful as those of a jellyfish. But unlike the box jellyfish, the sting doesn't always mean doom, except that you wouldn't want to take chances. You can easily become part of the few fatalities from a man-of-war sting. And if you survive, the pain can be one hell of a vortex to deal with. Interestingly, it's not just the live animal that can deal with these lethal stings. Detached tentacles and even dead man-of-wars can keep stinging for up to several days. This has been pointed as the major cause of over 10,000 stings in Australia every other summer. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it in a future video. Number 2. Bloop. Ever heard of this sea creature known as the bloop? Have you ever seen it? The pic here is largely associated with this creature, but the truth is, it doesn't exist, or at least it hasn't been discovered yet. So how did the thought of a bloop come into existence? The story goes back to 1997, where a range of sounds were recorded across the Pacific listening stations, at least 5,000 kilometers apart. There wasn't a readily available explanation for sound transmissions of such a huge scale, so most people went with the belief that there might be this enormous deep-sea creature emitting the sounds. This was later disproved as the sounds, when played in real-time rate, matched those produced of breaking ice. But if the bloop existed, it certainly would have been a formidable force to reckon with. And come on, Bloop? That's an awesome name! Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works. Number 1. Flower urchin. Flower urchins frequent the tropical waters of the Indian Ocean and the western and central Pacific Ocean. That's one deceitful name for sure, but it was all derived from this urchin's flower-like biting parts, collectively referred to as pedicellari. They're shaped like claws and make up much of the urchin's anatomy. And despite the flowery appearance, these biting parts are the very instruments used to inject venom. They contain little sensors that pick out any disturbance, either physical or chemical. When remotely disturbed, the claw-like parts will immediately shut, thus injecting venom in the process. And that begins a series of effects that may accumulate into death for humans. Right off the bat is this excruciating pain that really throws you off. That's something you don't want in the depths of the ocean when you're basically living on borrowed time. This disorientation has been reported to cause drowning in swimmers and divers. The venom also causes breathing problems, muscular paralysis, and numbness. And if you're fortunate enough to get out of the water, you might not be so safe from the venom-delivering mouthparts. Some can break off and keep causing pain and injecting venom for long hours. It's no surprise that flower urchins are recognized in the Guinness World Records as the most dangerous sea urchins.